I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Okay, well, here we are on AfterBuzz TV. We're letting the buzz begin, and we'll bring it to an end, but not yet, because we just started. My name's Lograsso. Welcome to the show, my beautiful co-host.
Wow.
We have Sean and Tenere. What's up, guys?
What up?
Not much.
AfterBuzz.
Glad to be here.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm officially Team Marty.
Oh, we've got a hot take over here. Let me hear. What do you think? What are your overarching thoughts of this episode?
On my behalf, I'm just going to say...
Oh, yes, sir. Please, Mr. Prim and Proper.
Just wow. Just so many scenes. I mean, just Darlene and Wyatt. I'm going to just leave it right there. I mean, you guys saw, so...
There was an intimate moment shared. And we will be hitting that in depth.
I see what you did there.
For me, it was like everybody was trying to out gangster everybody else. Even the therapist was getting in on being gangster.
She might be the biggest thug in the whole town.
Right? She might
Yeah.
be the quietest thug, yes.
Quietest, also most savvy entrepreneur.
Well,
Playing both sides.
Both sides of the field. It reminds me of when I was little and I would go to my mom and ask for gum and she would say yes, and I'd go to my dad and ask for gum and he would say yes, and neither of them would be any the wiser.
Nice.
And I had 2 pieces of gum.
double
Double
dip.
your pleasure, double your fun, double mint gum.
Just,
as the old saying goes. Well, yeah, it was a wild ride. I mean, there's almost too many topics to hit, but the first thing we need to get to, and probably the most important thing, is the power shift that's happening between Wendy and Marty.
I mean, can we just start with my man Marty comes back, and you're thinking
Like
everyone's
a phoenix from the ashes,
Right? I mean-
rising up, honey.
he's coming back where they start off with him in bed, him and
We
we
can't blow over that.
We cannot.
Hang
All
on.
of us.
Hang
Please,
on.
take it away.
That was, and we were watching, and Lauren, you said it, that was the most intimate moment of this show ever between Marty and Wendy, and it was beautiful.
It was the only time they've ever shown true tenderness toward each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got a little emotional.
I did too.
I was like, are we watching Grey's Anatomy all of a sudden? Like, what's going on? Because I'm about to cry.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this show builds tension so well, and they barely ever give you a moment of release. And when they do give you a moment of release, it's either you're so relieved that someone's not dead or you're laughing.
Yes.
And so it felt nice to see something that was so deeply intimate and tender and human.
Yes. Like, it was like, oh, this is them at their best, together. Like, this is why they got married originally, right?
Right.
There was that moment, and I totally 1,000% believed it and bought it.
Yeah. And I think they did in that moment too, but there was an almost instant shift to going back to the power struggle.
Yeah. Right.
Because before Wendy even could wake up, Marty was in there pretending like nothing ever happened, cooking the kids breakfast, so, cleaning, he cleaned.
Yes.
And getting ready for work. And, I think this is the first moment we see kind of Wendy not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Her wherewithal is gone, and she's kind of just dumbfounded.
Yeah, it's kind of like season 1 Wendy, right? Where she, before all this really took, form, she didn't know what was going on. And now I feel like she's like, wait, what?
Right. No, it was, and like you said, it was kind of that, she was in that headspace of, what? The kid's talking to her, like, is Dad okay? Like, no, he's fine. I'm trying to figure it out myself, type thing. So, and we see Marty, like you said, he's just stepping up with a little extra something in his, just a little more direct, a little more,
Vim and vigor.
Yeah, a little snappy about stuff, just let's cut through the BS on things. Like, let's get, and you're like, oh, okay.
Telling the kids very bluntly what happened.
Right.
Yes, they did this. No, they didn't do that.
He's like, take a day. Don't be late for the meeting.
Right.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Let's get down to it.
I think Ben put it best. Looks like Marty, walks like Marty, talks like Marty, but that ain't Marty.
Right.
Yeah.
Even in that first meeting, when they were asking about when Marty was talking about who made the decision to, what was he talking to Ruth about? Like, who put...
the Smurfs?
The
Smurfs. Which was an interesting piece of
putting Ben, yeah.
terminology.
Yes, that was
Do you
new.
understand that?
It's a weird thing. I think I do, but I don't know how to like.
I know what it is, but I don't know like what do Smurfs symbolize that makes him call them Smurfs? I don't know. Is this a common term?
Maybe just work. Maybe we did look that. I feel like I've heard that in like drug
see.
lore.
Oh,
or
interesting.
Oh, wait.
Maybe.
Smurf drugs.
Smurf drugs.
I'm Googling Smurf drugs for those of you that are audio based.
And well, moving on when he was talking about them, and just in that first meeting, you really kind of saw. I mean, we got a sense of it at the house, but in that meeting, I mean, it was just so. I feel like old Marty, if it would have been like, wait, who did that? Who ordered that? Oh, come on, Ruth, like But this one was like, he was like, who the hell did that? No. What we're doing it. I was like, oh, and even like at Wendy's face at the thing was like. Looking at Helen and everything.
Like that whole thing of, all right, we got to phase that out because we don't want to have anybody flags.
Right.
But then also, like, that interesting moment with Ruth where she hugged him.
Right.
Yeah, and he was just like, get the fuck off.
Right. Yeah, he's like, it's all good. Don't worry. Moving on. Like, wow.
Yeah, just right back to business. Like, Ruth actually showed a lot of emotion toward him, and he just flicked her off. And then, I mean, there was a great moment between him and the therapist, which we talked about how the therapist is the best businesswoman in town.
Yeah.
But basically, Marty's not taking any BS. He wants what he wants, and he wants it from everyone, including this therapist.
Right.
He says if he gives her what he wants, if he gets Wendy to agree to his deal in the session, he's going to give her $800.
Right.
She says that she continues to see him because she wants to see how the story plays out.
Yeah, I think it's not hurting your bank account either, sweetie.
Yeah.
Right. Well, which is going to be funny because now that Wendy has her on the take too, it's like, all right, which one are you? You know, like I said, it's going to come to a head, and I feel like they're both going to be like, "Hey, I thought you were," and she's going to be like, "Sorry, you do got real problems," and I'm just
sure
saying
it's
it for
how
me.
Parents feel all the time, you know, like trying to balance it out, make their kids think that they love them equally.
And that's a whole different show.
Wow.
So yeah, there was that moment. I mean, the moments in the meeting. Obviously, like the moment when they go to the horse farm was pretty big.
I mean, there was so much symbolism between like horses and studying, and we're gonna stay here, and I was like, oh, wow, Marty's really stepping it up.
Yeah,
I loved like his. I really think it's just like his negotiation and just like right to the thing, right to the point. I mean, the lady's talking about, look,
let's do it.
I need. He's like, no, let's get. What do you want?
Right. I like that. Anybody can give you money. What do you want?
Right.
Like that was so smart.
So smart.
Yeah.
If somebody did that to you in a job interview, how special would you feel?
I would be super suspicious.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not just me though. Like, I think I've seen too many shows like Ozark and like Breaking Bad where it's like I'm suspicious of everybody.
Oh
now.
wow!
What would you do?
I would be like, oh my gosh, they care about me.
So you're saying if the employer was like, what do you want?
Like, listen, you've got a lot of offers. Clearly, you're amazing at what you do. But what can I do for you? I'd be like, oh, finally, someone sees me. Thank you.
I'm glad you asked because here's my
here's my manifesto.
Right.
Yeah,
that's great. Let's do it. Like what? You got the job.
Well, it's interesting that because the power thing, just because we're going with this whole power theme, when she calls Navarro.
And we're fast forwarding now, right? To when after the ball situation.
No. The first time she calls him. Remember,
Navarro
she calls him.
call.
Yeah. When I'm sorry, he calls her.
Right.
Yes.
Being like, all right, I gave your man back. You happy now? And then she's like, well, why did you let him back? And that whole thing of, he's just like me. Mm-hmm. He wants to win.
Yeah. Now, what do you take from that? I mean, obviously, it was some sort of mutual respect that was reached between Marty and Navarro, or at least that Navarro respected him enough to let him go.
Right.
But do you think that means from Navarro's perspective that Wendy is not like him?
Oh, interesting.
Like who?
Because before, I think what Navarro liked about Wendy is that, like, yes, he's probably really sexist and, like, doesn't ever think that she can completely be on his level, but he respected her because he thought that they wanted the same things. In fact, when he was torturing Marty, he said that.
Right.
She wants what I want. We want everything.
Right.
And then he flipped that on Wendy. I mean, maybe he's also playing both of them.
Sure.
Maybe he's the therapist, but on a much higher level and much more deadly.
Lograsso.
Hot take. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody's like, no one's actually being honest, right?
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, everyone always has like a take or an angle on an angle.
Ben seems pretty honest.
Yeah.
I feel like there's still something kind of lurking with him. Like something's
No,
gonna,
yeah, well, it's gonna. I mean,
Well, yeah,
something's
he's
gonna
like
come
clearly a
out,
psycho, but he's not lying about it.
he's like the lovable one because
Yeah.
you're just like
Lovable
he's so.
psycho.
Yeah, like remember when he screamed? The three women were fighting about. Was that in this episode or the one before? Because I watched them both back to back.
yeah, it was the one before.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, but like, do you remember in that moment when he screamed when they were fighting in
yeah,
the
they all
kitchen,
looked
and
at-
everyone just looked at him and then went back to their business?
Well, they literally introduced him as he could be
Yeah.
at any point go off and do some stuff.
Yeah,
so
he's throwing cell phones in a wood chipper.
yeah,
Which
but
I
also-
like to do on a Tuesday, but
We're here for a different story.
Yeah.
That's for a different day. But going back to like you said, in the power shift, I think is it's just such a. I mean, man, this one really the way Bateman just comes at it. I love just the way that he's coming in.
such a good actor.
Oh man, he's.
I mean, I just love how he comes, like you said, with each person. I mean, with the FBI agent, first he comes in, says like, "Stay away from my family." Like all he calls her Maya. It's no longer agent. I don't even remember like what her name, but it's always
Yeah.
like, yeah, Maya. Because even Wendy at one point she was like Maya, like
Yeah.
you're on
Yeah.
that kind of name basis with her, and he's like, yeah, whatever. So what we need to do is, and you're just like, oh man, this dude. And at one point in the office when he was meeting with Helen when they were talking about trying to flip Maya, you kind of saw like Helen had this just wry smile on her because Marty was just in there like, well, yeah, we can do this and this and this, and I'm going to do this, and we'll get her to do,
Yeah.
And I think she was looking like, I like this Marty, like he's real.
Well, right, and when Helen came back with the information from Jim saying that this woman Maya Miller
no.
is never going to flip because she's got a personal reason to not flip.
Right.
But Marty sees the alternate side of that first of all, she's got her dad in her blood.
Sure.
So she's got she just took it and made it the right way, which we'll get to this great quote that happens at the end, but like you got the right kind of pain or the wrong kind of pain. And she flipped it and used it the right way.
Right.
But it could just have easily have gone the other way. And so Marty sees that possibility, and that's when I really saw Helen's eyes spark and say, wow.
And I think he was
He's
testing.
got a little flavor.
I
Yeah.
think he was definitely testing it when he went and got that information on that pay loan person and wanted to see, like, hey, if she's just going to take it, like, hey, this is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because like you said, like, how did you get it? It doesn't matter. I want to go and nail this dude. Maybe he would have been like, yep, I could get her. But the fact that she was like, you can't do this. Like, you got to do it the right way.
Yeah, like
And
you
then it
can't
was
take
like-
the deal and not take the
Right,
deal.
then
Like,
it's
I
like
think he
that,
thought he
okay.
could get out the easy way. And
Right.
but that was what kind of surprised me in the end is that he is telling her some truth. But do you think so? Obviously, this is going to work to his advantage in some way. I feel like she's at least going to crack a little bit.
right.
But is she going to take that information and instantly give it back to the FBI, or is she going to continue to build the case on her own before bringing it back? Because that's what could build Marty time to turn her.
What information are you talking about?
When he said that he was with,
Oh, okay.
kidnapped and with the cartel.
And then all of a sudden, she just got braids real quick. Like
Yeah.
that was kind of odd, right? I was like, that's a weird continuity thing that she went
Wait,
from.
Oh, right.
When
Oh,
she was
right.
going to sleep. She was
Like-
like at the
I
hotel.
thought, I
like
thought
that
maybe
night.
she braided them herself.
I guess maybe she did.
Yeah.
It's a
could.
weird thing, but it
Yeah.
seemed very like a big drastic change. Like it was like,
Could it
oh.
have been the next day?
It could have been the next
Yeah.
week, but it still seemed like
Okay, so you needed to explain where she went to get her hair done. No, I'm kidding.
no. It just
Come on,
it-
writers.
to me it seemed like an actress got her hair done, not that it was part of the character.
Interesting. So
And
you
it
had
took me out of it a
the
little
feeling
bit.
that I had when I thought that Frank Cosgrove had Botox, and I don't have a problem with anyone having Botox, but I just don't think that
Well, Frank's son, right?
Yeah, Frank Cosgrove Jr.
Yes.
I thought that's his name, right?
Is it? Is he he's a junior?
I thought he was a junior.
He's a Frank Jr.
Yeah.
I think, okay,
well,
you're right.
whatever. The mobster's son. He looks like he has Botox, and I don't have a problem with that. But I just don't buy that a mobster's son in Missouri has Botox. Yeah.
It's
So-
2020, girl. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Botox has made its way.
We need to see them in the barber shop. We need to see them getting their Botox.
Oh my god.
Because he is pushing that,
Yeah.
like, what, 1978 Trans
Yeah,
Am coming through?
exactly.
Like, what's up, ladies?
Yeah, he's
You
trying
know?
to look young.
Trying to look young.
And the bird seeds on his car. You know, that's,
Oh, that was
what he
brilliant.
threw on.
So that brings us to our next topic, which is Ben and Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have anything else you want to say about this power struggle?
No, I like it. Let's move on.
Okay, cool. Because we're going to get to some other things that involve Wendy and Marty because they're kind of interwoven into every storyline. But before we get there, want to talk about our storyline, which is that we're doing a podcast that's also got a beautiful visual component. And in order for us to continue doing this, we really need fans supporting us. That's the only way we can do this show. And the best way to support us is by going ahead and subscribing, rating, and reviewing, liking it on YouTube, the YouTube website, and leaving us a comment, because we'll comment back. We'd love to know what you think of the show, how we can best serve you. We just appreciate you watching, and would love to know how you feel about what we're doing here.
Yes, very well said.
Hit all the buttons.
Right there. That's
Hit all the buttons on your phone. And follow it on Spotify, because Spotify is becoming quickly one of the leaders in the podcasting industry.
Oh, man, look at you. Look at all the little tidbits there.
All the
That's why we
things.
got it. That's why she's the moderator. She's got all this kind of good stuff going. So.
You know, it's who's a leader in Lake Ozark is Ben. He's a leader in love.
No!
Out of everybody who's
Dear
bringing the
love.
romance, I would say Ben is the one I would fall for the most, because he observes, he listens, and then he does better.
Yes.
And God bless it. That's all a girl could ask
And
for.
he's got a little tenacity again. You know, with
tenacity.
him.
You can shit all over him,
He's just
and he'll
like-
bring some birds to shit on a guy's car that you don't like. So yeah, there's some things heating up here between Ben and Ruth. I mean, the first beautiful moment is when they are sitting next to each other on the couch, and Ruth thinks she's absolutely screwed because the accounts are frozen.
Sure.
And they kiss, and she thinks she's going to die. So she kisses him. She says that the next day, but I think that she felt the fire.
Oh, yeah,
and wanted
for
a little
sure.
bit of human connection.
Yeah, definitely.
This show, it did bless us with some human connection tonight. We'll get to the next part.
Yeah.
But what do you think of their little entanglement, and do you think it's going to continue?
Oh yeah, I mean we are leading up to a heavy romance.
Heavy
scene.
petting.
Heavy petting. No, I think we're gonna go. I think
We're gonna go
I think it's gonna.
all the
I think we're going to home plate here eventually.
Home plate.
To keep it PC, maybe is a way to say. I don't know.
When you said home plate, I thought of Old Country Buffet.
Wow. She's like a girl that's hungry right now. Well, I think, like you said, I definitely feel that, like you said, the sparks are flying. It's funny, like, whenever she even, like, tries to come hard at him, he just always has a smile on his face.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like, okay.
Well, he loves crazy because he is crazy.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
it's like, he's like, okay, no, I see what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
And, like you mentioned, the French sticks. Like you
Oh
said,
yeah, I
listen.
love that. Like he
Went out and got 'em.
offers a burrito, a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
I like French toast sticks.
And he's just so, like...
But
like,
she still takes it
Right.
and
Oh, yeah.
yanks up the
Like-
window.
But I love it that it's French toast sticks. Right?
know
like
what?
this is something that comes in your freezer, you put it in a toaster. Like I don't want brunch at the Ivy. I want French toast sticks.
Yeah, well, Ruth is who she is through and through, and I think that's what he loves about her. But I got to give her a little bit of credit. When I used to get hot lunch in elementary school, French toast sticks were the jam.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was my
hot lunch.
favorite hot lunch.
I'm not hating on French toast sticks.
No, but you're right.
But like it's
A
just
breakfast
very
burrito's
specific.
a more hearty.
Yeah, a little more
meal.
hearty. But she's
Yeah.
like, no, I like the sticks.
That's what the people come for, the breakfast breakdown.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's get that debate
Yeah,
going.
people,
So
people
are you
are
breakfast
clearly
burrito or are
tuning
you
in.
French sticks?
Well, what
you
team
know?
are you guys?
I'm going to go French sticks.
Yeah, French toast sticks. Yeah, I would do it.
I mean, most days I would go breakfast burrito, but in this current moment, I want the sticks.
Yeah.
She made them sound so
She
good.
wants the
You just want to
stick.
dip in the syrup and get it.
Yeah, I really do. I really do. Just like Ben.
Oh, man.
So yeah, they're
Well,
lovers.
actually, you know what? I thought there was going to be a situation when... when Ruth had got in the van, and I thought they were going to like kidnap her.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
That was
And
kind
I
of-
So
thought-
what did they do with her?
That was
just
kind of-
roughed her up.
I don't know because she
No,
was
it's
just,
something actually fell on her in the thing. Nobody actually touched her.
So they were just trying to scare her.
Yeah, I
Do you
think
think
it was
that
like a
they
prank.
said, "Hey, like, don't mess with our boss, or else," and then kicked her out, gave her what she needed? But what happened to her car?
because she didn't even have any money or anything. Or,
Yeah,
or
I
we
mean-
didn't see her get any.
It almost seemed like, because of the way they just kind of glossed over it, it was almost like it was a prank.
Yeah, but then why is her car no longer there? See, maybe this was a moment when the writers ran out of time and they weren't able to align things together.
Yeah, but this
It
show
kind
is
of
so
feels like-
good. They don't
It
do
is.
that.
Right.
I know, but at the same
So
time,
I feel like maybe we're going to get paid off at some point.
okay, I hope so.
I think so.
Because where's her car?
But speaking of cars, can we talk about Ben's mystery machine?
We sure
like
can.
love machine that he got there,
Yeah.
like from like
A mystery
1975. You know, the van with the mini blinds
Yeah.
in there. Like, come on, that's
Mystery machine.
If that's not player player. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean
Kinda-
that's on. I mean you could also say it's a rape van. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. It's creepy.
It has that kind of creepy
It's
vibe.
a creepy van.
If that's just what you like, and like the fact that he's here now, he's
That's
kind of
just
like
his normal ride.
like I was gonna say he rolls up by himself. Not like you got the book. Like, dude, I got a van. Okay. But then when Ruth kicked it, I was like, whoa, like he might be like, whoa, don't be getting all crazy like on the love machine,
Yeah, well, I think it also is. It doubles as a home probably at some point too, right? Like, I mean, I think he'll pull over to the truck stop and okay, I got a bed, no matter what,
You see that thing just bearing down on you. You're like, oh, this dude means business.
Yeah. And then the business ends with, as we talked about, them getting back at Frank Cosgrove Jr., we think that's his name. Mobster Jr., the only way they really can, which is by putting 50 pounds of birdseed on his beautiful Trans Am and letting the birds poop all over it while they eat their French toast sticks.
Dinner and a show,
Yeah.
as Ben so eloquently put it.
So cute. And she left the FBI agent in
I did think about
the
that. Yeah,
office while she left.
Well, she sees this idiot in the thing waving at the camera like, you got to go deal with that.
Yeah.
That's part of the deal.
Which is also endearing. I mean, for Ben, for like someone to be like, "This is how I'm gonna get her attention." Like, I know where
Like,
the
he
cameras
knows
are.
what
Like, I'm
camera
doing
to go
all. You're
to.
like, "Come on, man!"
Sweet.
Like, yeah.
I'd date him.
I did.
Lauren's like, I'd give him.
He's
a
a
shot.
winner. He's a winner.
He's fighting. Because remember what he said, where does this guy live? I want to go there right now.
Yeah, Ben, ready to scrap. Just right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my wife also says that's all we want. We just want you to know that
I think
you
deep down,
will fight for us.
Ruth probably really, likes that too. Even though she was
Well,
like, "Don't
she's
do
so
anything."
used to having to fight for herself.
Right.
That's the thing. I think that strong women in general, and Ruth is a very unique case, but like are so used to having to fight for themselves that when someone else takes their side, it feels really good.
Yeah.
And I think someone like Ben, he's like one of those dudes where he wouldn't be like posturing. Like, no, we got to go do something.
Oh, no,
like,
he would be-
like
Oh,
knowing
no.
like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not going
No
to do
matter the
anything. Like,
consequence,
he
he
would
would
be
be-
like, no, like for real, let's go get this.
The tar out of him.
Right. So that's why she was probably like, don't do anything. Because Ruth probably looks at him like, you probably actually would go. And
She
try and-
knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
He'll throw down.
which is, which can be a good thing. But then, like you said, at times you can't control that. It's
Times
like,
of trouble. There's someone else who seems to not be able to control their urges. And
Tell it.
That is Erin, the daughter of Helen.
Erin, yes.
Erin
Yeah,
wants
yeah, yeah.
to get it in with, the
So
informant.
bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Girl, let me just tell you something.
Please.
Wait. Just wait. It's not that great the first time.
No.
You want to be able to trust them. You certainly don't want them to be an informant on your mother. Okay?
Wow.
Just hold your horses.
Even
Oh,
Charlotte
wow.
is just
you brought
like,
it all back around too.
I didn't even mean to.
ah,
Shoot.
yeah, even like Charlotte's like, girl, like settle down.
Well,
like,
because Charlotte had that unsavory experience, so she knows exactly the perils of boys on boats.
Boys on boats.
I wonder if does Helen know? Helen doesn't know. She's
Helen
all
doesn't
like
know.
that.
Helen's
No.
swinging around with the cartel in her big SUVs.
Yeah, she's got
in
no
her
connection
pantsuits.
in her pantsuits.
I keep on thinking like Jonah's gonna be the one. Like I don't know. Like somehow he might get in, get in there.
That
like,
would be safer.
like they,
Way safer.
How old is he?
With his drone, I think he's like 14. I think.
Yeah, like
as long as they're
14.
both underage, it's fine.
Yeah.
Lauren covering all bases.
Yeah,
Like
we want to make sure this is a savory situation. Yeah, I mean, and so Charlotte ends up having to give that guy a talking to and says basically like, you know who you work for, you know who I'm the daughter of, stay the F away from Erin because Erin cannot find out what's going on.
Right.
And it's in this episode that Helen, or was it the one before that Helen finds out that she knows?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
So now this is like a new pressure put on Charlotte because she has to deal with not only keeping secrets from the general public, but this other girl that she's going to be hanging out with. And on top of that, she's probably going to get murdered if this girl finds out.
And also, just going back to his theme of just people being gangster,
Well,
like
yeah.
Charlotte steps it up too. I mean, just the way she confronts him, it
Yeah.
wasn't like a snarky, like, well, they didn't. It was more like, you know who I'm the daughter of. Like, get your stuff together. I don't think your boss would want. I was like
She was trying this
oh.
on for size. It was interesting, and that actress did a really good job with it. She was trying to like, oh, can I play tough like this? Like
Yeah.
I've been bratty, I've been cold, I've been fun girl. Can I be this tough girl too? And I thought that actress did a great job.
Yeah, no, she's.
Well, it's funny. It was like daughter, like father, where like they both had a moment of, like being gangster and then kind of like smiling and like, yeah, I just did that. Okay. Walk away.
Just mic drop. Bow.
Yeah, totally.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see Charlotte kind of step up and, wear the old gangster hat.
Right.
Old
represent for the family.
gangster hat. Yeah, and then, we did see Jonah also stand his ground when he thought the informant went into the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
that was
like, look at
interesting.
Jonah.
That's right. Yeah. Unfortunately, Jonah got overpowered very quickly.
Yeah, he's
and pushed to the
a
side.
literal child.
Yeah. But I appreciate my man trying to step up.
Yeah,
Right. He's trying to
definitely.
represent how
He
Big
doesn't
Sister
like
came in.
he doesn't like the cut of this guy's jib. So
What does that mean?
I don't like the cut of your jib. You never heard that?
Never.
It's like an old timey expression.
Oh, like a jib saw?
No, I just think it's.
I
I'll
don't
have
like
to
the
look
cut
up.
of your jib. Oh, I don't like the
look
cut
up
of your
what
jib.
it is actually
Is that like on a
referring
boat?
to.
Is a jib on something on a boat?
Oh, wait, it could be. Let's look up the word jib. J-I-B?
This is what we get on this show. Education, people. We all
JIB
learn
or
something.
GIB?
Yeah, it's a triangular staysail set forward of the forwardmost mast. The projecting arm of a crane, also.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be better to look up cut of jib.
But I think it could be something to do with boating, which would be very on theme.
That would be very on point for
I
me.
guess we're
See?
very
That's
on
how I'm
theme
good.
tonight.
That's how I roll.
That's what we do.
Well, you've got balls. Maybe not horse balls, but you do have balls. The last topic of the night is horse balls, folks. And it's with a Z. Balls.
Horse ball Z?
I didn't see this one coming. There was a lot of talk of stud. I thought that it was just supposed to be this fun, like, kind of play because, Marty's the stud in town now and he's coming around, like, swinging his dick around, saying, hey, here I am.
Wow.
I'm back. I'm ready.
Right.
I'm the big man in charge. But really, it was just all foreplay to the cut heard round the world, which was the stud got his scrotum cut.
I mean, man,
right
how
off.
did you just wake up that day and just, he could have been taking a nice little nap. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
Imagine.
swap, like, what? Wait. Oh.
Do you think they sedated him at least?
It looked like they were
Yeah.
doing something. Yeah.
So we find out that this horse, the stud, belonged to the guy who is the other person in the cartel who's at war with Navarro.
Yes.
And so that this whole ploy to buy this horse farm was really just to get back at his enemy.
Yeah.
It wasn't to make a legitimate business. It was to cut the balls off of a horse. As is so often with a business deal.
It seemed like we went to China to get the Sherman Oaks on that one, right? Like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
we went really deep.
Yeah.
And then just to do all that, like, it's interesting. Like, why? I guess it's just the way Navarro rolls. Like, why wouldn't you just kind of put this out there?
The theater.
Yeah.
He loves drama.
He does love drama.
He loves drama. He loves a big statement piece.
Yeah.
And you can't get bigger than horse balls.
This is true.
Those are the biggest balls
This
there
is
are.
true.
They even put him on ice.
They did.
Oh, I think they're
You know,
gonna. I think they're gonna get sent to whoever owns that horse.
I
little
wonder why
cooler.
they would want to send him to him cold, though, because then there'd still be a chance to salvage him,
Maybe
right?
they got. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
Wow, I don't know.
No,
Maybe
like,
something
why
happens when they
why
get
wouldn't
warm or
Wouldn't it be a
something?
bigger burn if they went there rotten?
Maybe they
I
wouldn't.
don't
Maybe
know.
they wouldn't know what they were. Maybe they just,
I mean, yeah,
it's like-
because once they're detached, like you can't reattach them, right? Like, I don't.
Look it up.
Well,
if you're a vet,
I mean,
call it
I know
down.
that if you like lose a finger or something, there's a chance they reattached Bobbitt's penis. So
Well, that's true.
But by the time they get to Mexico, they probably will be expired.
Man.
Anyway, who would have thought we'd be talking about this
Right?
tonight when we woke up this morning?
Man.
Not me.
Nope, that would be. I second that motion. I would not think I'd be talking about horse balls.
But the big thing about this is obviously there's a big breakdown between the person that they bought the horse farm.
Oh, that poor
from.
lady.
I felt so.
Man.
She did a great job again in
I
this
was
scene too.
feeling it for her,
I
yeah.
got chills from her acting
Yeah.
performance. But then there's a moment between Helen and Wendy when Wendy demands a direct line to Navarro, and then Wendy ends up getting a hold of Navarro. And basically says, you lied to me. How could you? I thought we were partners. And there's this very powerful moment between the two of them. And it goes a little something like this. You exist for me to use. We are not partners. I own you. I feel like a lot of people in Hollywood feel like this. I'm serious.
No, I would
Yeah.
very much agree with you. Which was actually very. I think that kind of hit Wendy's pride a little bit because, like you said, up until then, she'd had this direct line to Navarro. Even Helen was like, "How'd you get that number?" She's talking, he's calling her all this stuff, And then when he just lays it out like that, like, we are not partners. Like, wait a minute, I thought, it's kind of like, I thought we had.
Yeah.
No.
Let me remind
Exactly.
you
Yep.
of how this works.
Right.
And never call me again. And if you ever disrespect me again in this way, I will remind you.
Yes.
And it was with the emotion and force that he said it. It wasn't the cool Navarro, like, where he'd be like,
No.
I will remind you.
He was
It
ready
was
to
like,
murder.
yeah. And you're like, ooh, this dude,
Yeah. And it's funny because Helen warned her. It's like, I don't think it's a good idea to call him.
Give me
Yeah.
the phone.
Oh, no, I got this.
Right.
Everyone keeps thinking they know better than Helen. And
Right.
It's like, she's been in this game for long
I
enough,
tried to
folks.
tell you.
Yeah, like, well,
Yeah.
it's funny. Like, yeah, you've been here for 2 minutes with
Yeah.
Navarro. Like, I know how this works. And it's just the thing I said at the beginning. Everybody's trying to out-gangster everybody. It's
Yeah.
like, there's only one gangster, guys.
And that is Darlene. Before
The
we
original.
wrap this up, I'm sorry,
yes.
but we cannot end this without talking about Harold and Maude Jr.
Yes.
There was a
Wow.
moment, there was lovemaking. We were
She stood up for he stood up for her in court.
in a suit.
In a suit.
She was ready.
Yeah. Wow, that was
Quite the little family we've got going on. And quite the beautiful heroin farm that they're resurrecting.
I want to know, like, you guys out there, I don't know if you guys were yelling like we were when that was going on, because we were, like, kind of sensing, like, no.
Yeah, it's like, it's coming, it's
Yeah,
coming.
the embrace, and you're like, don't do it.
There's a moment every episode where there's an audible scream. And this was ours for this one.
Yeah. Yeah. It was funny because what I like, though, is that she kind of smelled him, and then he went in for the kiss.
There we
Yeah,
go.
you know what? It was nice because we saw there was consent in that moment.
Yes.
So I couldn't have enjoyed it if I didn't see that.
She would have been like, wait a minute, I don't,
You're
Wait,
taking
what's
advantage of a
going
young
on?
boy.
in today's world.
But you know what? He's 21. She's 64. It honestly happens the other way around all the time. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
good to see Darlene.
Darlene getting hers.
Getting hers. And you know what? Wyatt, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his response, that was awesome.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
enjoying
Good
himself.
part. And Darlene's response was, I've been around a while. I know what to do. Like, yeah, I'm a
and now
veteran.
Zeke has a daddy.
Right.
And now Zeke has a baby daddy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that's going to all, I mean, in terms of how that.
Well,
little
it's
union
funny.
is gonna-
Like I wrote down that Darlene out-Wendy'd Wendy in that court scene.
Yeah.
Like, that was great. Like, I like that. I like when people have good, formidable foes. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, when it's not easy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's like, do you want to watch a sports game where you just slaughter the other team?
No,
or do you
yeah.
want it to be neck and neck the whole time?
Yeah,
it's
no,
more
it
fun.
it was nice because Wendy did not think she had to do all. Like, she thought, oh, I got her punching me, I'm good.
That was Wendy this whole episode. All of her old tricks were no longer working, and she was left in the dust just trying to pick up the pieces of her life.
And it's funny
Yeah.
because now I feel like Darlene's coming off the sidelines. You know, when they were off at the, she was like, oh, yeah, no, it's time to get
Maternity
back.
leave is
Right,
over.
she's
Yeah.
getting back in the game. I'm getting back in the game.
Time to get gangster.
Here we go. Got Navarro. You're going to have Darlene probably doing some stuff. Woo.
Yeah.
And then Marty.
Maybe she'll even come in for those Cartel. Maybe she'll come in and try to partner with Cartel.
No, well, I don't know. She's got a bad taste in her mouth. with that cartel.
Predictions. All right, we don't really have time for our special segment, but we can do it quickly.
I think we all have that moment, right?
I think, yeah. So definitely the sex between Darlene and Wyatt.
Was definitely held to the nose arc.
Held to
yes.
the nose arc.
Yes,
Okay.
I think we can all agree on that. We literally all yelled no.
Yeah. And any predictions for the weeks to come?
Your AfterBuzz
I don't know.
TV prediction.
I'm going to say my prediction is that, well, like you said, kind of taking off from the Darlene perspective, I think she's going to get in and ruin some stuff. I don't know if it's going to come in with the casino or maybe drop some info to the feds about, I don't know, but I feel like she's got a vendetta, and today we were seeing it hatch. So I think she's just going to be involved.
She's a hatching chicken.
Yeah, buddy.
I did predict that we were going to get a callback to that video game, and it came, like, it started to come to fruition on this episode. So I'm just going to predict that we're going to keep going down that path of that arcade. That's why, like, not a video game, it's an arcade game.
That's
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. Well, I agree. I think Darlene is going to keep, spawning. And I think her and Wyatt are going to become a formidable duo. I think the two of them are going to really start to carve out their own path there. And I do think they could get involved with cartel or something equally as powerful.
Which would also be interesting because, like you said, if they start doing that and then Ruth's involved,
maybe
then
the
she's
alternate
like,
side, Horseballs guy.
Oh.
Could be interesting.
And I think maybe like when Wyatt and Ruth, if they clash again, she'll be like, Wyatt, what are you doing? You know, and he's like, Ruth,
It's multi-layered and complex.
I'm a man
I love
now,
it.
It's good stuff.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today. Where can we find you on the internet and elsewhere?
On the gram at SeanStar75, on Twitter at Gorilla Suit Sean.
You can find me on the gram and Twitter at Tenere W. That's at TENEREW.
And I'm at Lauren Lograsso. You can also download my podcast, Unleash Your Inner Creative, wherever you get your podcasts, and download my song, Road to Glory, on all music streaming platforms. We'll see you next week, kids.
There we go.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.